Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for November 11th, 2025. We've got an all Rising Sun Kingdom today. And we've got Tanuki as the only trashing. Prophecy is progress, which... well, can be both good and bad. Here with Daimyo on the board, I'm thinking maybe some kind of Megaturn thing is possible, which would make that lean more towards the helpful side. Let's see. So, draw-wise, we've got Ninja, Poet, second Aristocrat, and then Daimyo. Daimyo itself, of course, isn't draw, but can be used to create draw. Action plus actions, first Aristocrat, and I guess the fifth one, but you can't actually get net plus actions that way without some other source, because by the time you've played the fourth one, you've run out of the actions from the first one. But anyway, so second Aristocrat and Daimyo, essentially. And gains... Oh, Riverboat is also draw and actions, because it's got Litter as the set-aside card. So yeah, gains, we've got Fishmonger for plus buy, the Tanuki trashing Rice, that should be pretty big. Fourth Aristocrat is plus buy, that's usually not super relevant. Gather also is gains. Let's look at the Rice thing. So action, attack, shadow, omen, duration, command, treasure. Should have counted how much that actually is, but action, attack, shadow, omen, shadow, duration, command, treasure. So you can have 8-coin Rice. So one way to play this would just be to try to get, N Rice into play with all of those cards, where N is the number of provinces that you need to end the game. With Tanuki on the board, that's probably not actually the best way to do it, and yeah, but so the annoying thing here is that we've got a 3-4, and I think we would very much prefer to have a 4-3, because then we could open Ninja credit for Tanuki. As it is, we could, if we open credit, then we don't, the only thing that we can buy, regardless of whether we credit for like Ninja or Tanuki or whatever, the only thing, well, actually, if we credit anything turn 1, the only thing we'll be able to buy it is Daimyo turn 2, is what I was going to say. I was trying to decide whether there was some way that we could at least afford credit turn 2, but no. I mean, I guess if we credited for Fishmonger, but yeah, if we spend, or a 3 cost, but why would we do that? If we spend at least 6 coins out of our 7 coins, then we will not have 2 coins left next turn. So that is definitely annoying. Actually, something I should try to mess with before I forget, if I can. Reorder. Okay, on. Yeah. What I am thinking about here is if we have like Ninja Tanuki, for example, in our deck, which we won't initially, unfortunately, but if we do, we'll probably want the Tanuki above the Ninja, because if we were going to draw one of those cards, we would rather, like, the Ninja drawing Tanuki is kind of pointless, right? But if the Ninja's on the bottom, and if for whatever reason our draw is such that we draw the Tanuki, we can, potentially do something like play the Tanuki and then draw the card that we gain from Tanuki with Ninja or that sort of thing. So that order matters. The other order that could matter, since Tanuki is the only trashing, if we end up trashing coppers into fishmongers and then want to trash the fishmongers, since the fishmongers are going to go at the bottom of the deck, we would need to draw them. And so we'd want to draw them before the Tanuki so that we could like have them in hand and then play the Tanuki. I don't actually know how much I expect that to come up exactly, but trashing some coppers seems like a reasonable thing to do. I don't think we're going to want like 7 fishmongers. I think probably we won't trash all of our coppers, but also maybe but maybe we do go through, like, do some amount of, like, copper to fishmonger to something else. Maybe. I guess we'll see. Anyway, I think the more important card to open with between the two here is Tanuki. Tanuki turning a state into a ninja. Like, we can get a ninja easily enough that way. Even if we're in debt from taking a daimyo, which I think we will be, because I'm anticipating wanting to open daimyo. Tanuki daimyo. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, the bot also does not get to afford a ninja. That's nice. And it did not choose to take a daimyo. Okay, so next turn, we have 7 cards down here. Assuming we see our daimyo, we will get to trash 2 estates. If we play the Tanuki now, one of the things that I don't like about this interface is that this 7 includes the Tanuki. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it's also, I find it confusing. Yeah, if we play the Tanuki now, the daimyo is not going to be enough to trigger a shuffle, so it's not going to have anything to do. And if we don't see the daimyo, we can still just play the Tanuki, so I think there's no reason to play it now. Okay, so state to ninja, estate to gotta be poet. Oh, I guess with progress, if we turn copper into fishmonger with progress active, the fishmonger will go on top of the deck. And so we'll have an opportunity to immediately turn around and trash it if we want to. That's interesting. It does make the shadow card, gaining shadow cards a little bit worse in general. Anyway. And I don't think there's any reason not to take another daimyo. We are going to want a lot of daimyos. And yes, that is the order that I want. Thank you. Okay, so there's no reason to prefer daimyoing. Well, is that true? I guess daimyoing ninja is guaranteed draw in a way that daimyoing poet is. Well, daimyoing poet right now is guaranteed draw too. So I guess the reason to prefer daimyoing ninja would be like slowing down, slowing progress, slowing the rate of progress. And then we could also daimyo the Tanuki, but I think given how much debt we have, we'd probably rather just Tanuki the estate the one time. So yeah, we have 5 non-shadow cards here to draw. We play Poet once, we draw 2 of them. We play Poet again, we draw 2 more of them. We play Poet again, and we reveal one of them. So that's playing Poet 3 times does not effectively draw that 3rd card anyway. So I guess we'll daimyo the Poet just the once. And then if we daimyo the ninja now, we could actually use some payload here. Like if we it's like if we play the ninja now, we draw the tanuki, which doesn't do us any good. If we play the tanuki, if we play the tanuki first, we can draw the card that we trash, but we don't get we don't get any value out of that if it's an action card because we don't have the actions, which means maybe we should have daimyoed the poet again. Yeah, that might have actually been correct, as it turns out. We could turn the tanuki into like a silver. I was the tanuki. The estate into a silver, I guess. I mean, I don't really want a silver particularly. It wouldn't hurt too much. We're gonna have 2 coins here. How much is rice worth for us right now? I said it could be worth up to 8, but we don't have the duration. We do have everything else though. Action, attack, shadow, omen, command, treasure. Wait, did I miscount before? That's 6. Action, attack, shadow, omen, command, treasure, duration. I think I miscounted before. I think it's only 7. 5, 7. Yeah, okay. Well, so rice is already worth 6 coins for us. So the thing about getting a rice this turn, and we'd have to credit for it either way, but we could like actually start to have enough money to do things like gathering, for example. Get some plus buy into the deck. So I think I like that. And then given that, so we could grab an alley, which just makes it a little bit more likely that we can line the daimyos up with the poet as we need to, or we could just grab another poet. The poets will at some point not draw as much, should be noted. I mean, we could go ahead and take the silver and just pay off more of the debt now. I just worry about failing to draw next turn. I guess we could also do silver, we could double play the Tanuki and do silver fishmonger, but then we're not guaranteed to draw the silver, and we might not have might not be able to credit. It's probably not that. Let's get an alley. All right. Alley might as well be on top, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to play it first anyway. Well, okay. We get more value from the rice if we play the ninja. We have... We're not going to trigger a shuffle either way. Yeah, this was a bad draw. A really bad draw. I did my best to hedge against it too. So right now... Yeah, the Tanuki doesn't actually do anything to boost the rice. Drawing a daimyo off the top is not great. Attacking is good, though. Okay. Obviously, we can just take another daimyo. That's probably correct. I mean, although it is worth considering. Now we have as much as 13 coins in our deck. So we have 4 debt, and then we can potentially hit 9. That's enough for like gather credit or gather and grab another daimyo or maybe like rice and a thing. I think that's fine. Yeah. Oh, progress is active. Okay. Top decking a bunch of fishmongers. That doesn't seem great. I think we just double play the alley here. And now... You still have the poet down there. Here's the question of what are we going to do with this Tanuki? We're probably going to have to a fishmonger this turn. If we play daimyo again, then again we're not gonna like the poet isn't gonna have thing to draw. Like it's gonna run into the ninja. We shouldn't need more actions than this anyway. So we have 2 cards down there, but one of them is the ninja. So we have 1 card to draw. We Tanuki fishmonger onto the top. Then we daimyo the ninja, and we draw a fishmonger. And then, oh yeah, we're gonna draw like 1 copper into the shuffle. But I guess that's better than top decking, leaving the fishmonger on top. So Okay, so we could get another rice, or we could gather, and then we get a daimyo. Gather. It would be nice to be playing with a duration that makes our uh, rice better. I mean, I guess that could be samurai, but probably makes more sense for it to be riverboat. Granted, the riverboat will cost us a coin too, but we also get a second Tanuki, which isn't actually that valuable, but we can Tanuki into rice. I think that's good. Oh, we're gonna top deck it all. Oh, right. Uh, well, we get to top deck like Daimyo Poet that way, so I guess that's not too bad. I mean, I guess we could take an aristocrat instead of the riverboat. Hmm. Uh, do kind of want the riverboat though. All right, this is definitely a poet. All right, discarding Tanuki is totally fine. Or maybe it's not actually. Maybe I should have discarded. Like, because I do, if I want to trash the Tanuki into a rice, which I think I do. All right, Tanuki on top, Ninja on the bottom. So we'll say Ali second from last. This looks like a good order. Okay, do we want to daimyo the alley at all? Maybe once. Four cards down there. So Ninja draws three of them, including the Tanuki that we want to trash. So that works. And the rice is going to get top decked. Which is helpful in this situation. We can just not play the fishmonger, that's fine. Okay. We could go gather double daimyo. If we want to gather again. That seems fine. Okay. How many times do we want to daimyo the poet? How many daimyo plays do we have total? Last turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6. Da, 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 da. I mean, 3 times should be fine. It's not really like we have a payload card that we're trying to daimyo either. I mean, in theory, we could with Tanuki. But until we're taking provinces, it's just not doing a whole lot. Maybe... Ooh, we stop with this. It's pretty good. Okay. Go ahead and play the alley, I guess. We could daimyo the fishmonger, I guess. Then we could daimyo the Tanuki and trash a copper, I guess. I mean, we do have the actions. Wait, how did we draw the ninja? I put the ninja on the bottom. What? That's so annoying. I put the ninja on the bottom, didn't I? That's... Did I misread the order? Maybe I did. Well... Whatever. Okay, we're getting close to... Close to the end? I don't know. Gathering to gain rice continues to seem more efficient than like directly gaining the rice. How many more daimyos to buy? We could go double gather province. I guess the problem with gathering now also is that we don't really want another riverboat. Like the 2 of them is plenty. The extra poets and tanukis are fine. I mean, we could just buy 3 rice. Or... Like, if we have... Assuming we find daimyos. 1 tanuki, a bunch of daimyos, and a bunch of rice is a bunch of provinces. We have 6 daimyos. I suppose we could go get, like, we could take, like, 2 rice and then some more draw. Double aristocrat top decked would be some draw. That's 6 coins. Okay, what if we do that? It's not very much draw, but it's some draw. We will draw from the riverboat. We could do 5 rice. We could credit for a rice to have 6 rice. And then aim to tanuki all 6 of them into provinces. Because if we get 6 provinces, that's basically game anyway. Alternatively, we could just not bother. It's like we would have the money to buy a province if we don't do that. Off of just like 6 coppers. Well, actually, with the minus coin from the riverboat, maybe not. 6 coppers, and we'd have to double daimyo fishmonger. I mean, 5 provinces would also still be pretty good in any case. Yeah, I think I'm gonna not take anything else. All right, no, I did not do this wrong. This is the top. What the hell? It's so weird. Some kind of pile out is also a possibility for sure. It would be nice to daimyo the draw aristocrat. I think I'm gonna play alley first in hopes of that. Yeah, okay. Yes, this seems good. Okay. So, what would a pile out look like? A couple of our rice are in the discard, unfortunately. Like, so we can't. What I was thinking about is we daimyo the tanuki to turn rice into rice. But we can't do that the full number of times without triggering a shuffle. guess Riverboat into Poet would still advance the goal. Or Copper into Fishmonger. I guess that would be... Or Riverboat into Fishmonger, for that matter. I guess that would be easier than Poets. We do have more copper down here for the Poets to find. Yeah. Okay. So if we play the Fishmonger and the Ninja to draw the Daimyo, then we have 4 Daimyos. Play the Poet, and then we play all the Daimyos. Oh, the problem is we're not going to be able to draw the rice back up. Yeah. Hmm. Unfortunate. All right, so how to proceed? I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. No, it does, because we need the buys. If we trash 4 rice into 4 rice, like, that's all well and good, but that we won't have any buys to empty the fishmongers. I mean, we could... If we just play 4 daimyos right now... Well, I guess we'd play the fishmonger first. But if we played 4 daimyos right now, we would draw Ninja, Tanuki... Well, Daimyo, Ninja, Tanuki, and then 1 other card. Out of 3. Which means that... yeah, I'm just not seeing a good way to do this. Somehow we're actually short on draw. Or on Tanukis. I think that would be a fair accusation. Alright, so maybe we do just buy some provinces. And maybe another pair of aristocrats just to, like, set up having some start of turn draw again. We can still do, like, Daimyo, Fishmonger, Tanuki, Opera to Fishmonger. Guess we play the Ninja. Daimyo the Poet. Daimyo, Fishmonger. Play Riverboat. Oh, I hadn't considered that we might have enough money to empty the provinces. That's interesting. Well, I'm not that we do, but like, could we have gotten to that? It's still another 20 coins. Probably not. Probably not. Wait, what about like fishmongers and poets? Probably should have done more tanukiing if that was the goal. Unfortunately, gather doesn't advance that goal. And there's not really another pile that's low enough. We can buy a lot of gathers. We can buy 6 gathers. That empties poets and tanukis and almost empties aristocrats. And there is an empty pile, so I guess that is actually enough. Huh. Interesting. Is there a line... It leaves us with two coins to buy an estate as well. Is there a line where we get more points? 4 rice costs 28. 4 fishmongers is another 8, so that's 36, and then we can get a province. So that's better. 4 poets is 20, and 4 fishmongers, it's to 28. And then we can buy a couple of provinces with our 2 remaining buys. So I guess that is the best line. The gather line would be funny, but I guess I'm going to take this. Yeah, I definitely underestimated what my deck was doing here. So yeah, I think I almost certainly underplayed this. Daimyo too powerful, and like undoubtedly I should have done more stuff with Tanuki, but whatever, I guess. Anyway, the bot, I think, should have been playing with more rice at the very least. Maybe also just didn't have enough stuff in its deck to Daimyo. I don't know. It seemed more focused, like it multiplayed the Tanuki at least one time early, I know. And then like top decked a bunch of fishmongers, which doesn't seem great. Yeah, I mean, it just had a lot less stuff in general. I mean, this is a little bit misleading, obviously, because of the poet and fishmonger stuff, but I did have like quite a few poets. It only had 1 aristocrat? That doesn't make any sense. You can't daimyo first aristocrat for draw. And I did see it daimyo aristocrat for a bunch of actions at one point, and I was like, do you need that? Yeah, so I'm not really sure what it was doing, but it wasn't effective. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.